Good morning and welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes. I'm sorry if I sound a bit croaky, but I'm really pleased to be able to come and see you today. Yesterday I had no voice at all, so at least we can get through today, and hopefully I can show you this wonderful new suite from our new catalogue, and it's called Thoughtful Journey. I really love this suite. It was on the top of my list when I first saw it, and I'm glad I'm able to have a little play with it today with you. We're going to make a card that could be used for Mother's Day, but it could also be used for any special lady in your life. And I say lady because it has a lot of a pinky tone to it. I'm using the new colour Petunia Pop with this one, along with some wild wheat and some old olive. So we'll have a look at this together. I'm going to turn you down to the table or the desk, and we're going to get started. But first thing I'm going to do is show you all the elements in the suite. So hopefully we can get this to work out all right. So let's get started. And this is where I fumble a bit, but we'll get you there at the desk. It's looking good. Now, I'll just make sure we are in the right spot too. I should have done that, shouldn't I? Let's see how we're going. Are we around the right way? We seem to be. We seem to be okay. So I can move this in a bit. I think I've done it all right today. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's not muck around. We've got it in position. Now, the Thoughtful Journey set comes with, first of all, this lovely stamp set, and it's got some lovely sentiments on here. Dearest friend, thinking of you fondly, thanks, missing you, you make life better, and I appreciate you. I'm going to use the thinking of you fondly today because if you're posting it and you think it can't be with her, she knows you're in her thoughts, but it also could be for anyone else that's special in your life. And it's got some lovely leaves here. It has thistles, Scotch thistles. Now, I'm not a big fan of Scotch thistles, yet there's some lovely ones in this paper, and I am denied whether I'd use it. But Scotch thistles in my life were always a pest and a menace, so having a farm, we were constantly pulling Scotch thistles out. So I ended up not going with Scotch thistles today. And these lovely little, they could be poppies or something, but lovely little flowers. It also has dies that cut out these two pieces, plus some other leaves and bits and pieces that it will cut out. And I'm actually using a dozzle, which is this one here. But we'll see what else is in the suite. It comes with this designer series paper, and that's called Thoughtful Journey too, which is easier, and I'm sure everyone else's. So I'm just going to show you quickly this paper. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Let's go through each piece quickly. Absolutely gorgeous paper. I love this. I want to use both sides each time. I've had 2 packs already, and I only have this final piece left. So I love this piece. I've used it quite a bit. And this is the piece we're going to use today. There's our Scotch thistles. And I do really like that. Some lovely flowers. And that one. And this one. Now, I will say this now, just because I don't want to forget to mention it. If I can just get this piece back up. These lovely flower piece. I was thinking of using this, but I actually cased this card off a lady called, I've forgotten her name now, Detheridge, Mary Detheridge is her name, and I've cased this card off her, and she used this piece, and I wanted to do something different, so I've used a different piece. I wanted to step mine slightly in a different way. I've done it, so but Mary, the card was beautiful. It inspired me. This suite also comes with these gorgeous papers, and this is actually two-toned. So you can see here we've got the yellows into the greens. This is the piece we're using. It's the pinks into the oranges. And I'll pop that aside there for after. And then these are more the browns. This is Pretty Peacock, one of my favourite colours. I looked at using that. And then we've got this one, which is pinks into purples. And the suite also comes with these, and I've pulled them out so you can see them. They're called the adhesive backed pearl trios, and I've written on here, I always write on the front of mine what the colours are. So we've got Coral Calypso, Lost Lagoon and Petunia Pop, and we're going to be using the Petunia Pop ones. I think you might notice that I quite like Petunia Pop. So let's get started. I'm going to bring in our trimmer. And I'm a bit croaky, so I apologise for that. I'm going to cut a card. So that's 14.8, just our normal card. I'm not doing any fancy fold today. And I'll just get my bone folder and fold this. Now, you can see I like to do it at the bottom here because I don't have as much of that in my road. So that's folded. That's my card base. I'm then going to cut, I need a piece, along with the Petunia Pop dies, I'm using the perennial postage dies, and I need a piece this size. So I'll just cut a piece off this one that I will be able to use for that. I'm also going to use this perennial post die to cut this out, so you'll see that after. Now, I didn't get one of the colours out. I'll just grab out. I need a piece of wild wheat, so we'll grab out a piece of that. Have we got a piece I can use? Yes. Now the wild wheat needs to be 10.5 wide. And I need it to be 10. I need, oh, that's the wrong one. We need to get back to our pink. And I need to cut a piece that is 10.5 centimetres. So let's see, is that this one? No, I'll go 9.5 on this side. And 10.5 here. And lastly, I need some white. And I should have some white in here. This will do. I need a piece that's 10 centimetres by a 14.3. That's for inside the card. And I do need a piece to also stamp on. So that's all that done. So the first thing I'm going to do is some stamping. And I'm going to stamp this leaf on the inside of the card and on this piece of paper. And I'm using Mossy Meadow. So that's the inside. So this one I can stamp here. And this one on the inside of the card, I'm going to stamp it here. If you can see what I'm doing. I don't want it to intrude too much into the card, so I'm a little bit off to the side here, and I'll just wipe that. That's the beauty of the glass mat. What you can stamp and wipe off anything that's there. Now, just going to let them dry for a minute. Actually, I won't, because we need to keep going. Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. On this piece, I can get out the petunia pop, and we'll stamp thinking of you fondly here. And then that's our stamping done. Now, for me, I wanted to colour these leaves in, but I didn't want them just one colour. I wanted them to have some yellow. Oh, actually, it's yellowy, greeny colours to match in with this paper. So I've taken the colours that are here, the mossy meadow, which is this dark green, and the wild wheat. I'm a little bit off my game today, so we'll see how quickly I can do this. This one's going to be cut out, so hopefully... And I am actually layering something over it, so if it's not perfect, don't stress, because I'm not going to today. I'm sorry. I know, it's a bit boring watching someone colour, but what happens is once you start blending the two colours together and overlapping them, you can't sort of see where one colour starts and another one stops. They just blend in lovely. Hopefully you can see that. I might have to hold it up for you in a minute. So I'm just keep quickly colouring this. It doesn't take that long, and it does make a difference when you actually put a little bit of effort in. It makes it stand out a bit better. And I don't do too much because I don't want the ink to dry properly before I start putting the second colour on. That's why I have the two together. Feels like it's still Saturday. I've missed a day. But I know I'm coming to you Sunday morning, so I hope you're all having a lovely Sunday. We're having a quieter one today. Bella's off with some activities and I can rest myself after all this, although I am cleaning out my craft room. It's what happens when you get a new catalogue and new things. You've got to clean up so you can fit all the new stuff in. So I'm having a real big clean out. I started at the start of the week and I'm still going. You probably saw the mess behind me. It was shocking. It's shocking in here, but I made enough space so that I could do this. We'll just do a little bit on here. Won't take too long. As I said, the aim is just to bring in some colour. And I'll show you how it blends together in a moment. And there's no right or wrong in this because leaves are never, ever perfect, are they? So you just... Actually should have a very sharp tip on, but this brush has got a bit soft, so it's wiggling around a bit. That's why it looks a bit funny. But let's see. And I think that'll do it. So, I'll hold this one up because the other one's still drying. And hopefully you can see there how that blends in and your colours just blend into each other. And it starts off a bit of a green leaf and suddenly it's yellow. So you can't really tell whether it's a yellow or a green leaf. And that just gives us a little bit more definition. So that's just about ready to go into the card. So the next thing we're going to do is do some cutting. We're going to cut out 2 of these. And I'm going to cut out the leaf. I'm going to cut out, using the perennial postage dies, the Thinking of You. And I'm going to cut out this flower. And I need 2 of those, but I'm hoping, yeah, I think I'll get 2 on there. And we'll cut this out. So there's a few bits to go through. So let's get this up on the table and have a go. Now, I had a bit of a play around with this morning when I was getting ready to do the live, and I worked out that that was a nice position for it. So we'll pop that on just on its own for the minute. And it actually means that I'm not wasting the whole piece of paper. If I bring this in, I've still got all this half that I can use on a card, and I've just taken that piece. Now, I need another one of those. But let's see if I can get this on at the same time. We'll try and cut down the cutting. Actually, no, we'll just do this one. Let's not muck around, eh? So I'm finished with that die. We'll take this pink piece. I need to, you can see I've already cut one out of there. I just need to cut it down so I can fit other stuff through with it. I'll cut this off so it can go through the top. So, now this has got a whole lot of little holes on it, so you can line it up and see that you get it lined up properly. I find it very hard sometimes to get things lined up properly. And of course then they move on you. So let's see how we go. No, this one's going to move. I might need some washi tape. I've got some thin washi tape here. I just used old retired washi tape. If I can find the end. No, I can't find the end of that one. I've got a few bits here. Oh, don't you hate that? Talk amongst yourselves while I find it. Here it is. So, I'll just pull this aside so I can see. So I want it there. And there. So that'll hold it. And then we'll get this one through too. And we'll pop that to the side like that. Actually, if I pop it there, yeah, that will work. So let's run them through. And then we've got one more round to go. Now I need my pick to pop that out. That's come off, so we'll take it off. That'll fit on. We'll take that off. And we had this piece. And I'll just pop that down here out of the road, and let's pop this piece here. And this is a nice little snug fit, but it looks rather good when it's done. So through we go. Does this to me every time, doesn't it? Sticks to the board. So we'll get that out of the road. We'll pull these out and we'll have a look at what we've got. So let's go. So we've got two flowers, a set of leaves. Now I'll just take this off so I don't throw it out with the paper. We have two of those. We have a card insert and we have all these. There's one other thing I want to bring in before we start assembling, and that's some petunia pie ribbon. Now I want it a bit longer than my tag. And I'm going to show you something that I discovered with this. If you actually, there's stitches along the side here, and you can pull them out. I need to get closer. Things that happen when you get older, you can't see without getting closer. I'm just pulling those stitches out on both sides. So I'll do the other side. And the reason for that is I want to fray the ribbon, and those stitches were very, very difficult to fray the ribbon with while they were on. So I'm just going to use my pick and I'm pulling the ribbon apart on the ends. And it looks a bit messy when you first start, but you have to have a little bit of patience with it and you will get all the bits off. And it's, you know, you do it on camera and it's not as good as when you do it normally. It's like bows. It's pulled into a knot, but we'll get it out. I'm going to cut some of those loops, and that might... There's my ribbon scissors. Do you have that? Do you keep a pair of special scissors just for ribbons? I do. And I have something on them, so I know they're my ribbon scissors. Lo and behold, anyone who touches my ribbon scissors. And then they stay a bit sharper, don't they? Now we might be able to get somewhere. Did it so easy this morning. I thought this will be an easy thing to show you. But it's just not cooperating. We'll just get this little bit off. You're the uncooperative one. The side bits are still quite difficult because they're quite strong. But you can see here I've made it's frayed up quite a bit on that end. And I'm not too fussed that it's not perfect. That bit's got to come off. Because that's what I want, a messy look. And I'll quickly try and do the same here. Perhaps if I don't take as much at a time, I won't get it into such a big knot. Give me a shout out and let me know where you're from today. Who have I got watching? Is it cold where you are? I'm cold, but then that could be just me today. Struggling we are. Oh, I am. My husband's not had a bit of a problem, but he's come good. But my voice has been terrible. By the end of the day, I usually don't have any. Woke up without any yesterday. That's why I couldn't come live to you. You wouldn't have heard a thing. Oh, it was a bit of a squeak. Now I'm just cutting the knotty bits off because I'm just wanting to rush it a bit further. But you can see there I've got a bit of a fringe now on both ends. So we'll just get that all off. And we'll start assembling. Because that's what we're up to. Now, I'm going to pop this piece on here with some glue. And that's going to give us a border around the top and bottom of this lovely piece of paper. And then I'm going to glue that to the card front. Like so. And I should have got that straighter. Oh, that's good, it's straightened up. Now did I? No, I don't think it did, but it's actually lapped over, so maybe I didn't cut that bit straight. That looks a bit better. And I wanted this on dimensionals, but it's so light and flimsy that if I put it dimensionals in the corners and so forth, it'd just fall flat to the card. So I'm going to put it onto another piece of cardstock, and I chose Mossy Meadow because I didn't want any white showing through. If there was a little bit of a glimpse, it's still going to be the same colour tones. And with this glue, it's so good because you've got that wiggle room. You can get it exactly in place, and then you can't see the other card a bit underneath. Oh, and while I'm here, we might just glue a little bit of this flower on. Now, I just do little dots, and if they get too much on them, I just smudge them a bit with the nib of the glue. And then I'm going to take this and just place it over the top. Oops. I'm a bit wobbly today. Now, I haven't got a dry one, have I? Oh, that's fairly dry. Got to be careful because this could smudge. If you dampen the ink underneath, you could smudge it. But that looks all right. We'll just let that dry. I'll pop this on for a minute. And I've used up all my dimensionals. I have to start a new sheet. Love starting a new sheet. Good to be able to share something you enjoyed with people. Little things keep me happy. Now, I'm a big one, as you know, for lots of dimensionals because I don't want this to sink. I like my pieces to sit up once I put them on dimensionals. So I'm just putting more than perhaps other people would suggest, but that's just me. So I'll just grab those off. Get rid of that lot. Got the whole dimensional. It's not, it's taken some backing off the paper, so we'll put a different one on. I'll fix that one after. So yes, they're all off. Sometimes I can't see. And then I'm just popping this on like so. Now Mary just on her card put on a couple of the gems and stamps and wordings on hers. She did different paper, as I said, in different colours, but I'm going that step further, and I'm going to grab my glue and I'm just going to put a bit on. And again, I'm do a little squeeze, because you don't want a lot of this glue. It's when you use too much, there's a bit of paper that didn't punch out. There it goes. When you use a lot, it goes everywhere. So you just want little bits just to hold it in place. It doesn't need a lot. And I'm just going to pop that there. And then I'm going to pop this one over the top. And once again, and this die, by the way, on the front, if you can see, if I put something behind it, you might be able to see that. It's got lovely little indentations and things, so it actually gives some dimension to the flower. Not sure if you can see that or not, but it does. Take my word. And once again, just a few little dots, just so it holds in place, and just smudge them if they're a bit big, so they don't spread everywhere. I might do a couple on the stem to hold the stem in place too. And I'm sort of going over a little bit like that. Now, you're wondering what I'm doing here. This, I might put it this way, is going on the back of my little tag. And let's get that off. Now, easier if I do it this way. And then I'm going to grab my dimensionals and just put a couple on the back. And we're just going to put that over here, like so. So you can see it really doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because it just blends into this natural little bit of a look. And we'll take this and pop it on in the inside of the card. And we're just about there. Of course, we have to add in the bling. And considering it comes with the suite, definitely need to use the bling. So that's the inside of our card done. And some bling. I'm just going to use, I'm going to pop one of these up here, maybe up here. Bits of thread stuck to me. Come on. Doesn't want to come. Wants to run all over the place. We'll pop one here. And we'll pop this last one here. And that's my card. A card that hopefully will be appreciated with lots of... It's a bit of a wildflower type card, isn't it? It's not formal or anything. It's lovely and relaxed. And again, on the inside. So hopefully you like that. I'm going to turn you back to me now, if I can get it to work. Oh, we don't want the blind. That's a bit better. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed that. And hopefully my voice will get better and better. And I'll be with you again next week. And I'll showcase something else out of the catalogue, something else from the new ranges. I've got a couple of the suites, so we can have a look at perhaps a different suite. Have a lovely week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.